Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sri Matre Namaha. We are continuing with the talks we started with Devi Mahatmyam on Navaratri. Here the discussion is on how one can experience the Devata or gods. We understand very clearly that Devi is Mahashakti or the Almighty Nature. Actually here the nature is not the correct word because in English language it is so difficult to find the correct words. When we say she is the form of nature, Prakriti Swarupini, again Prakriti is not exactly nature. Prakriti is more than nature. Similarly, when we say Shakti, Shakti is more than just energy. I am going to just talk about this in a little detail today. But first, let us understand Devi, that she is the all-pervading and she is omnipresent. She is omnipotent, that means she has all the Shakti, which she represents as Ichcha Shakti, the Kriya Shakti and the Gnana Shakti. Now again here the word power is also not exactly the meaning of the Shakti, but we will use it. The power to desire, the power to act, and the power to gain knowledge. Then we understand that she is the Sarva Bija, that means she is the seed of the whole creation. She is Sarva Shakti, that means that she is the Shakti in each and every aspect of the creation and in each and every being, whether it is animate and inanimate. She is Sarvamayi, that means she is present in everyone, as these gunas and elements, and as the mind, ego and the intellect. That means we have already discussed that she is the eightfold Prakriti. We also understand that she is transcendental, and in her transcendental nature she is the pure consciousness, just as Shiva. So Shiva, the absolute pure consciousness, the pure silence and unity, is the source of this Adi Shakti, who has taken the myriads of forms, innumerable manifestations, to both create and as well as to sustain and govern all that is created. So she is inseparable from this Shiva, and she is referred to then as Shiva and Shakti together. And this is the totality. Now every aspect of creation is in the image of this totality, that is the Shiva and Shakti. So when we say we are born in the image of God, then we are all Shiva and Shakti, the absolute pure consciousness and the Prakriti or the relative consciousness as Devi. Now we also understand that all the gods and all of us have emerged from this Adi Shakti. So Adi Shakti is the starting, and then we go back to Adi Shakti to bring the cycle, to complete the cycle. So again in dissolution we say that we rest in Adi Shakti, and again at the beginning of a new period of creation, then all the beings emerge just like from sleep. But in terms of enlightenment, we look at this circle a little bit differently. Then we say We come from the pure consciousness, we call it Paramashiva or Paramatma, and we merge, we gain back, or we become this pure consciousness again, to merge in Shiva again. So here in this cycle, then the beginning and in the end of the cycle is the absolute being. And that is why in the Vedic terms we say we come from Shiva and we go back to Shiva. And this is because Shiva is the never-changing phenomenon here, and Devi represents the ever-changing phenomenon. But in order to complete this cycle, then we need the help of Devi. Now we will see how Devi, being the nature, can take us through the relative fields and give the experience of the pure consciousness of who you are, and ultimately lead to Brahman consciousness. Before I go there, let us bring this infinite connection to Devi for all of us. Now we say our biologic mother is our umbilical cord connection. And this connection, which has been established after the conception, remains for one throughout the life. It becomes the connection through which one person receives all the love, all the compassion, the care, besides the nutrition and the nurturing. So this biologic mother, in essence, is on a small scale what Devi is. And that is why she becomes our first mother, our first teacher. And this mother never stops caring, never stops loving the child she has given birth to. Under all circumstances and all through her life. And this connection and this bondage is so strong between the mother and child that even when one is enlightened and even when one takes sannyas, one never renounces the mother, the biologic mother. And then this feeling of the Matrudevo Bhava remains. That means the mother is the living goddess. In the same way, when the Guru appears in the life, then Guru becomes the mother, the universal mother. And so when the Sishya or the disciple becomes enlightened also, then he never loses this connection with the Guru. So even when the enlightened becomes equal to a Guru, and he himself is a Guru, one who has enlightened and has removed his ignorance, his deep connection and gratitude to the Guru remains. Now, looking at Devi, or the Universal Mother, Jagannatha, she is our cosmic umbilical cord. She connects to every being in the whole creation through this cosmic umbilical cord. And so she is constantly nurturing, nourishing, loving, giving her grace and compassion, bringing this sustenance and evolution and protection until one gains the final liberation. So, when we start understanding Mother this way, then we want to know who this Jagannatha is, what is her creation, and how we can experience her or even have her darshan, how to communicate with her, how to pray her and express our devotion, how to meditate on her, and how to express our gratitude and joy, and how to express our faith, Shraddha and surrender, and be in eternal freedom. So in the next 2 to 3 talks, then I will try to discuss these in detail. Now, in this whole process of knowing Devi or God realization, the self-realization of who you are becomes the first step. So, first Devi reveals yourself to you. You gain the first understanding that you are not limited, you are all-pervading, and you are the unchanging phenomena like Devi. Having realized yourself that you are none other than the image of Devi, then the further journey and revelation brings more realization of her creation, the different strata of creation, and then the creator that she is, because she is the first creator. So here we begin to understand that Prakriti is in the absolute. It is this whole phenomena of relativity or Prakriti is already embedded in the absolute. So it is the journey or the transcendence through this whole field of Prakriti that ultimately leads one to this absolute or the self. So one is a changing phenomena, ever-changing phenomena, and the other is the never-changing phenomena. So from the ever-changing phenomena of Prakriti, this Devi is leading one to the non-changing phenomena of the self of who you are, or whom we call Shiva. And in this Prakriti, we say it is the field of ignorance, and the absolute is the field of enlightenment. So again, one has to go through this field of ignorance of this Prakriti, ever-changing Prakriti, into that never-changing Atma. So here, in a sense, it is like two shores, and this is the common expression that we hear about, that we go from this shore to the other shore. The shore of the relativity to the shore of the absolute. In essence, it seems so far away. But for one who is transcending, then it is within you. It is not far away. So without this world and without this Prakriti, then one would not be able to transcend. Because the medium of transcending is not available. And here, what is the medium? It is the different strata of the Prakriti. It is the Prakriti in the different degrees of grossness and subtlety to the subtlest. So naturally, now we understand that we need this world and we need this changing phenomena to be able to transcend and gain the absolute and know that you are that self. So here, mind transcending is nature transcending. That means you are transcending this Prakriti, and it is the relativity that you are transcending. So naturally, it is this Prakriti which is exposing the absolute, which is taking you to the absolute and revealing the absolute or the self. This is where the grace of Devi comes, where she removes the many obstacles to gain this self-realization and then to know her, which is the God realization, and to know her creation, which then takes one to God consciousness. Now I want to take a little time and look at this terminology. There are many words in the Sanskrit actually which do not have the correct meanings in English. And we are continuously struggling with the limitations here. And I'm beginning to realize that it is better to use the Sanskrit words completely and just forget about the English words or the English translations. So let me go into this a little bit more and then you will begin to understand. I think it's time we start this phenomena. I really appreciate Rajiv Malhotra ji, who brought attention to this in a big way for a few years now. So the first word is Devata. Devatas are not gods or angels. Here, Devata is one who is an object of adoration and who manages orderliness in the cosmos. Now, the word Bhagavan is completely different from the idea of God. He is transcendent and omnipresent. So Bhagavan is one who is transcendent and omnipresent. And Bhagavan is superior to the Devatas. And his abode is eternal and different from Swarga, where Devatas reside. So accordingly, the word God is not the right word to be used for Devatas or even for Bhagavan. Because God was used to just refer superhuman beings of the pagans that Christianity has brought forth. And also we keep hearing the word demigod or demigod for Devatas. And this is not right either, because a demigod is defined as someone being born from the sexual union of a god and a mortal being, whereas Devatas, on the other hand, are divine beings and they uphold the constitution and the cosmic administration in the whole of universe. And then Paramatma we refer to as transcendental eternal self, the one God that is referred to as the oneness in every religion. The oneness from where all the manifestations have come is we refer to as the Paramatma. And this Paramatma is one also who holds both the absolute and the relative together. I will talk about this a little bit later. So since we have different terminology of Devata, of Bhagavan and of Paramatma, I think we should use these more commonly, as these don't have equivalent translations. So again, another misnomer is lokas. When we refer to lokas, they are referred to as planets. Here loka is an observable world, not an observable world. Again, loka is not an observable world, but it is an embodied plane of existence, and it is defined by certain conscious levels or certain levels of consciousness. Whereas planet has a physical presence, It is a physical body and does not convey the same meaning. And again, the word Swarga is also loosely used as heaven. So there is Swarga and Naraka, and then there is heaven and hell. Now let me define Swarga. Swarga refers to a subtle realm where jivas stay temporarily to enjoy the fruits of their good deeds before returning to the lower worlds again. So Swarga requires transmigration and reincarnation. And in the same context, Naraka is a temporary place for a jiva to exhaust his or her bad karmas. Now, heaven and hell have a different context. Heaven is a place where a Christian believer ascends and eternally lives after death. Only eligible people are granted admission, while the rest are cast into hell eternally. So either eternally they are in heaven or eternally they are in hell. Now we also know that it is Devaloka is different. Devaloka is where it is the abode of Indra, and where we refer Amaravati as its capital. So it's a conscious field of existence for these devatas. Now let us move to the next word, Prakriti. So far, even I have been using the word nature, and everyone uses this word nature for Prakriti. But Prakriti is not nature. The word nature in English refers to as a physical phenomenal world and the inherent character of something. Whereas in Sanskrit, the word Prakriti has altogether different meaning. Prakriti is the primordial generative material principle which contains the whole physical universe in an undifferentiated homogeneous state. It evolves through a continuous series of transformations into this world of multiplicity. Then finally, when the universe gets dissolved at the end of a kalpa or a creation cycle, then all that is present gets absorbed into this original Prakriti. And in the Sankhya, we see Prakriti as one of the two fundamental entities that ultimately exist, that is, the Purusha and the Prakriti, where the Prakriti, here the Purusha, is the inactive witnessing principle, and he is witnessing the Prakriti, which is the ever-changing phenomena. So the Purusha, the non-changing phenomena, is witnessing the ever-changing Prakriti. And also, the Prakriti consists of the three constitutive elements, which are the gunas, the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, in a state of equilibrium. Prakriti is derived from the root word kr, that means to do, to create, cause or produce. So then Prakriti is considered to cause every material thing. So when one hears about Prakriti, then there is also another word which is heard is Vikriti. In Vikriti means the subsequent effect of and to evolute and to modify, where Prakriti has initiated this creation and doing and producing. So Vikriti is commonly denoted as various tattvas emerging during the process of manifestation of this physical universe. But this is also commonly, it is defined as imbalance, Prakriti as the nature and then Vikriti as the imbalance in that nature, which is also wrong. Further, the Prakriti has these three gunas, the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and the concept of the three gunas is not at all suggested by the English word nature. And furthermore, Prakriti also means sense of regaining one's consciousness. That regaining one's consciousness means knowing the self and also knowing the 7 constituent elements of a state. And we also already know that these are the 5 elements and the mind and intellect. The Prakriti also denotes the female component or the feminine aspect of the creation, and none of these are actually pertained to the English word nature. So it is best to use Prakriti for nature, Prakriti for Devi, and Prakriti for all that is relative. So tomorrow I will also discuss about the word Shakti, because the word power and energy is not equivalent to Shakti. So I end here for today. Jai Gurudev, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.